Hello and welcome to day 6 of our fall road trip across the USA. This is our first full day in Boston and we are geared up for a full day of sightseeing. We have a 3-day Go City Pass to help us out and get the best out of the city. As always with these vlogs and reviews, we will have a running total to see how much we save while using the pass. We use the passes to really help us get the best out of any city, but never become slaves to them, so as you will see, we plan on doing plenty of other attractions and sites, as well as the attractions listed on the pass. As you can see, the pass cost us $139 and runs for 3 consecutive days. We are only in Boston for 2, but the pass also covers attractions in Salem, which is our next destination. We had a bit of a lie-in today and got ready to leave the hotel around 8:45, ready to head straight for our first attraction on the pass. This was a 2-day trolley pass. The trolley tours are a great way to get around the city, with hop-on hop-off privileges for 2 full days, with stops all over the city and located at most of the attractions you would want to visit. The trolleys add fantastic value to the pass, with a $78 value. Along with being handy transport all around the city, you also get an engaging tour guide to help familiarise yourself with the city and point out interesting locations and attractions as you go. They are very touristy but really handy and a lot of fun, with great views out of the open air side windows. Unfortunately, the first attraction we headed to was closed, the USS Constitution, so we planned on heading back tomorrow, instead jumping off on the Freedom Trail to check out some of the historic locations from the Independence era. First up was the Old State House. This has a $15 entry, but this gets you into this location and the Old South Meeting House. These are both pivotal locations for the Revolution and tell the story of the independence movement. There's a really strong anti-British sentiment, which we hope by now is largely light-hearted. This carried on throughout the whole trip, with the Bostonians never really missing an opportunity to rag on us Brits. It's a good job we have thick skins. The second site on this attraction was the Old South Meeting House, another historical location and well worth seeing. This is the actual location where the plans for the Revolution were cooked up. The value here is only $15 for 2 attractions, so it's not saving us huge amounts, but the truth is, without the pass we probably would have skipped these. The pass can feel like a key to the city, and having the pass means we don't overthink things. We were really glad we got to see the insides of these locations, but we know when faced with someone asking us for money, we would have balked. So the pass really helps us see a location to its fullest. This is also true of our next location, the King's Chapel, another historic location that we probably would have skipped if we had been charged the entry fee. It was only $5, but still, the desire to see the inside was probably less than the $5 in our pockets. But we were really glad we got to go in. It's not the most beautiful church in the world, and not overly relevant to the revolutionary tale, but it was really nice to see inside. It was around this time we realised we had not really eaten anything today, and we hunted out a late breakfast stroke lunch spot, ending up in the Beantown Pub, a historic pub serving American classics known for its Boston beans. We were still on breakfast, so skipped the beans for a more traditional breakfast, which was really good. We then headed out to explore the sites of the Freedom Trails, such as the Park Street Church, Massachusetts State House, Potato Famine Memorial, and the various graveyards and burial grounds, before heading out onto the Boston Common. The day was now stunningly clear and unseasonably warm, around the 70-degree mark, that's 20-21 degrees Celsius. And the common was wonderful to just explore and walk around. The squirrels were out in force collecting up their winter stashes, and there were even some hawks lurking in the trees hoping for a quick meal. There were also the telltale signs of modern America, as a portion of the park was largely taken over by a homeless population, something that is unfortunately ever present in most US cities that we have visited. We headed over the common and across into the public gardens. These are a little more manicured and very pretty. Unfortunately, someone seemed to have stolen the ponds as they were doing some extensive maintenance, a theme that seemed to follow us around this whole trip. Everywhere seemed to be having work done. We hunted out the benches from A Beautiful Mind with Robin Williams and Ted, and then headed across the street to the Cheers pub. This was incredibly busy, over an hour wait for a table and crawling with 60-something boomers who seemed intent on photobombing any shots we took of the building. We are not huge Cheers fans, we're from a different generation, so left them to it and hopped back on our trolley heading over to Boston Tea Party Museum. The Tea Party Museum is not actually on the pass, and while we really wanted to visit the boats, the show timings were not really working out, having just missed the last show and having to wait quite a bit for the next show. Instead, we just admired the ships from afar, along with views of the city, and then headed back to Long Wharf to catch our next attraction on the City Pass, the Historic Sightseeing Cruise. The Historic Sightseeing Cruise was enough to put us in the green for the pass, and it was only 2 PM in the afternoon. To use the pass for the cruise, you need to head first to the ticket office to book onto either the next available cruise or choose a cruise time later in the day. As it happened, the next available was about 5 minutes away, and we hopped straight on. We had not been planning to do the cruise today, as otherwise we would have booked on earlier in the day. But happy circumstance meant we could do it now. During the summer or busy months, you are very unlikely to be able to book on so easily, as the tours do fill up quickly. Your best bet is head to the ticket booth and scan the pass as early as you can in the day. As we were late boarding the cruise, we struggled to actually find a seat up on the top deck, but we did manage to find a nice bench that was completely free on the bow of the boat, offering some great views. This Hornblower cruise takes you out onto the Boston Harbour and takes a close look at the stunning and ever-changing Boston waterfront. You get a detailed explanation of what is a pier, a dock and a wharf, and the misuse of these terms seems rampant, and really annoys the narrator, if no one else. The tour takes you past the old and heavily modernised harbour district, the container dock, Fort Independence, and out into the main harbour, with a little light-hearted British bashing along the way. The cruise takes a really close-up look at Logan Airport, with incoming jets skimming right overhead. The second part of the cruise takes you down East Boston, with its heritage ships and of course the USS Constitution. This was a lovely cruise out on the clean waters of Boston Harbour, however it turned a little cloudy, replacing the stunning blue skies of the morning, but it was still clear, bright and quite warm.
This was a branch of the Navy today, a branch of Homeland Security, the only branch of the military charter called merchant.
After the cruise, we headed just across the wharf to our final attraction of the day, the New England Aquarium. We love aquariums and will be visiting 2 of the best in the country over the next few days, with the first being the New England Aquarium. This is a fairly atypical aquarium, with a strange layout. There is only one main tank and the whole aquarium is centred around the main circular tank. The pass got us straight in with no issues. The first attraction you come to is the Shark and Ray touch pool, which is really fun, with friendly rays happy to come up for a stroke. We then headed to the disappointing shark exhibit that does not actually have any real sharks apart from a couple of little cat sharks, so we left and headed to the main exhibit. We arrived at the perfect time as a trainer came out to feed the penguins. The penguins are super cute and we loved watching them eat their little fishes. The penguin habitat is around the edges of the main tank on the lower level. After this, we headed outside to see the sea lions, who are really playful, but a bit stinky and very noisy. And then it was time to check out the main attraction. The centrepiece of the aquarium is the 200,000 gallon giant ocean tank. This huge cylindrical tank sits at the centre of the aquarium and is filled with warm tropical seawater, coral and thousands of marine animals. There is a spiral walkway that meanders around the tank up to the top, with various exhibits on the various floors as you go. We love the design, and it allows you to marvel at the amazing main display while taking in the smaller yet still interesting creatures on display in the other exhibits. The main tank is filled with a huge array of fish, from small sharks, rays, snapper, filefish, various jacks, lookdowns and even a selection of sea turtles. There is so much to see. There is so much to see in there, from small reef fish to huge permit fish gliding by. The top of the tank is open and we really got lucky as we got there just as 3 huge sea turtles came up for air, giving us quite a show. This was the perfect end to a pretty hectic day and we headed back to the hotel for a rest before heading out to dinner. All we had heard about all day from the tour guys was the amazing Italian food that was on offer in the city, so we headed over to the Italian Quarter to check this out. We love Italian food and more so love American Italian food. It's not as refined as real Italian food, but has bags of flavour and always great portions, and we were really hungry. We just headed over to Little Italy and picked a spot that looked good. We ended up in Antico Forno, one of the first places we actually found, but we still ended up walking around checking out just about every other place before heading back. Here we gorged on huge piles of linguine fruit de mer and an epic 4-cheese pizza, all fired in a brick oven. The pizza was excellent, and while the fruit de mer didn't look too good, it tasted amazing and had loads of seafood. This was a great end to our first day in Boston. Our first day with the pass had gone excellently, and we had already saved $39 and had ticked off quite a few of our planned attractions, with still 2 full days to go on the pass. Tomorrow we head back out into Boston and check out some more of the sights and attractions of this amazing city. Like and subscribe to make sure you get that video as soon as we launch it. Bye for now.